streaming.
What am I doing? Checking the stream, the live stream?
Well, I'm saying if you want to listen back to it later, it'll give you a good reference because the exact receive is what do you call it? What's on the stream?
Alrighty. With 1,000 watts of excitation, 15 miles east of New York City, this is Norway 2 Queen Fox.
Yeah, you sound marvelous, marvelous. All right, so since it's just you and me, what can I boost or cut, Frank? I'm addicted.
All right, let me try to review the stream. I can't hear. Second. New York City. Hold on 1 second.
What's up, guys?
Doesn't sound like any reverb is coming in there.
Well, I guess you could add more. It sounds good, though.
Do you hear the reverb or no?
Not strong, but I guess usually we're not supposed to hear it. Do you hear it on me?
No, I don't.
Now do you hear it on me?
Oh, my God, yes.
All right, so here's where it was. All right, this has got to be too much right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, my God, yeah. Yeah, I did like 0.1.
Yeah, so how about here? You should be able to hear it now, but it shouldn't be too strong, or I could back off a little more.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to stop the stream. I don't know. I mean, okay, sorry, I couldn't hear. Let me hear it again.
All right, this is a little bit higher than where it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I think the problem is with us is that we have a very strong gate. I hear it now, and I hear it on YouTube.
All right, so if you hear it, I dropped it a little bit from where you hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, I think it was better where it was.
And that was right there. That is, well, that's 30 dB setting on the slider on the effect. on the mixer slider, not on the actual effect slider. What do I have that set on? Oh gosh, where is that? Sends. That I have it a little bit under 0 dB.
Okay, I got mine at neg 36 on there right now. Neg 36.1 on the send. But the effects game. But all right, that's cool. All right, I'm gonna leave it right there.
Yeah, so I have this. So I have it at minus 3.5 dB on the send, and then I guess it's side chained basically. The slider on the what do you call it, on the mixer, so that's post the effect. So I can adjust basically. I should have the send at 0 dB, and then just use the slider on the mixer, because that's what I'm doing. But for some reason, it's set at minus 3.5, and I'm going to leave it. Just use the slider on the mixer, because that's what I'm doing. But for some reason, it's set at minus 3.5, and I'm going to leave it. Oh, yeah, that sounds much better than it sounded all week.
Yeah, you're really starting to sound like your old EQ, which I really liked. I got to be honest with you, I'm looking at it, and I can't really make heads or tails of anything that I think you need to change. I think I see the high coming in there. I don't know if you did any changes to the high frequency response, but it's definitely in there. I opened it up past 100. I hate this GUI interface that Flex provides, because it keeps going back to 100 hertz. I have to keep dragging it down, and if I'm not consciously aware or looking, it's easily missed. That being said, I think you sound great. I wouldn't do a lot. I'd leave it for a little bit and sit with it. But I think it sounds great, to be honest with you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know, I could try because I could try bumping the oral exciter a little bit. It's very low. I don't have it strong at all. You know, maybe like a little tweak there on the high end. I think the low end is fine though.
Yeah, I think you got a lot going on there, and it sounds good. And I don't mean that in a negative way. When I say you got a lot going on, meaning seemed like you got full vocal range, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. So I'll send a picture. I EQ on the mic channel, and then and then I did touch up EQ on the main output. But what took me so long, Frank, is I was trying to get the mic EQ. I was trying to get it to sound as close to what I really wanted to sound like just on that one EQ alone. Then I added a little bit of touch up in the main output EQ. But here, yeah, I'll take a picture. Here's what the regular plain vanilla mic EQ looks like. I'm sending it now.
Wait, let me hear it again.
All right, this is the plain. Well, no. I didn't. This is still everything running. I just took a picture of what the mic EQ looks like.
Okay, I'm gonna remove my optical big bottom, my Apex out of line, and I'll let you hear what it sounds like without it. It's not that different, I don't think, other than robustness and the rumble. But here we go. This is just EQ. All right, this is the EQ here. See, a little bit of the rumble's gone. So it's very subtle. If you hear what I'm doing, now I'm going to put it in. Now you hear a little bit more of the roll off on the bottom end.
Nope, I definitely heard that. The Apex added some gain too when you took it out of line. The gain dropped. So all right. This is the Apex on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the Apex off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is it off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here it is back on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, so that's good. That's a great indicator. That so let me understand this. You have mic preamp, preamp into the X Air into the Apex, correct?
Correct. Then the Apex into a Jensen transformer box just to remove any hum, and that goes right into line in the ANAN.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Well, that's a great indicator knowing that you have your EQ proper, right? Because there isn't a whole lot of change. I mean, of course, it adds a little bit of depth and rumble and fullness to the audio, the body of the audio, but there wasn't a huge change between the two. So I think you got it nailed, man.
Yeah, man. Same with you. You sounded almost identical, but of course, yeah. There's more color in the audio when that thing's engaged. It really is a magical piece of equipment. It really, really is. I sold my first one to Nate. I never should have sold it to him. But I'm not going to sell this one ever, no matter what I decide to do.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I made the mistake of getting rid of my 204, and well, clearly that's been a little bit of a problem, but I got the 230, and it works well. Actually, I like the 230. It's a channel strip that adds, you got a compressor and a few other items that are not found in the Apex 204, so I got this one really cheap from, I think it was Reverb or one or the other. That had, what did it have? It was just missing, so there was a damaged piece on it, which is the digital audio output, which I don't use, so it's okay. It worked out for me. I got a good deal on it.
Yes, I remember that. That's good. Now, refresh my memory. You go microphone into the X Air, and then you come out of the X Air, and is that when you go into the Bellari?
Yeah, so my mic is a little odd, the way I do things. I know it doesn't follow the normal chain, but So what I did was I went microphone into the X-Air out to the microphone preamp, the Bellari. But I only did that I really don't use a lot of gain in there. I mean, it's almost a pass-through device. I just wanted to get I don't know, it just had a warmth in the lows that weren't there when I pulled it out. I remember it's the modified version. When I put it in, the lows were there, but they almost sounded, what would be the best way to describe it? It didn't sound natural. And I think when I was able to put that back in, I definitely felt a warmth. It felt more, natural or organic. We can use that word. That sounds like a $10 word. So I just think it had a better roll-off on the low-frequency response. Anyhow, so getting into it again, just mic X-Air to the Bellari, and to the EX Severity.
That's interesting. That is interesting. Not well, and that's another thing, Frank. This is the lowest gain I've ever run on any of this equipment. Like even like the Bellari preamp, I'm peaking 1, 2. I peak at like on the VU meter like 3 to 1. I don't even touch 0, and I mostly float around 6. Like right now, I'm floating around 6. If I hit it 5, I go between 3 and 1. And then the mic gain in the X-Air on the meter, I don't go above minus 10 dB. I'm assuming that's a minus. There's no minus next to it. But you know what I mean. It goes 20, 10, 5, 0, where I used to touch 0. And then on the output, I've got to really hit it to get between minus 5 and 0. The output I want to always, that's going to the Aphex. So the output I wanted to come right in below clipping. And then that powers the Aphex, and then the Aphex to the radio, and then it's just the mic gain adjustment. But yeah, less is definitely more.
Good morning, gentlemen, and for QNT listening, and keep it going.
Good morning, Arthur. Good to hear you, sir. I slept in as well today.
Oh, it felt great.
Yeah. Sounding good.
So I've been listening a little. I've been making some nice clips here. I sent Frank one. I'm going to send you one as well, Doug. And I'm listening to Frank, and I know what you're doing, making some adjustments, and the gear, the Bellari, the correct bandwidth, of course, to fill it all up and get all that great tone and everything going across the whole passband. But I think I found the piece of the puzzle that you're missing, seriously. And, sometimes the way I come across, and I think the two New Yorker heads are going to butt a little, but please don't take me the wrong way.
We never would. Ever. So go ahead, let's have it.
All right, so that box you purchased, we can just use digits, right? Let's just say it was four digits approximately, right? That last box you purchased?
Yep, but I don't have that in line.
I know. But for another $195, you get yourself a Neumann TOM 103, large diaphragm condenser mic, and you're going to be in the Frank zone.
Well, I have a condenser here that I could put back in line to test it. I have the Stellar X2. I know it's not a Neumann, but I have the Stellar X2.
I know. I'm wondering, it's almost like I don't take, please, I love this SC Electronics Dynamic Straight Talk microphone, but I think our hands are tied with the next level, because I'm listening to Frank, seriously. I know what he's been doing lately, some adjustments, and seriously, wow. It's just that natural tone, that robust kind of, it's hard to describe that bass region, but it's that nice, boomy, but natural, clean results that he's getting. and I really think it's that condenser element in that Neumann. And I know it's a high dollar mic, but just think, we spent it on that box, but I think the mic is the answer.
That's very interesting. What do you think about that, Frank?
I obviously agree with that statement. I think I never really put two and two together. Not that I didn't put two and two together, but give it much thought. But I think, that there might be some truth to that. I'm not sure. Although we've done some tests, I can put the. I don't want to do that today, but I tried the RE, and you guys said it wasn't that far of a difference. I don't know. I think the Dynacaster has a bit of an unnatural artifact to me that I'm hearing. I hear it, and I don't know how to describe that sound, but it is there.
So the only thing I'm worried about in this location, Art, the room is very hot. But you guys have heard me on the Stellar X2 a year ago. And I don't know, maybe we'll experiment with that and plug it in.
Yeah, it's so funny we're talking about this, and I brought this up. And you guys hear me, I think, okay. I'm hoping I'm 10 over, at least 10 to 15. And right now, as you were just, I reached over to the cabinet and I pulled out this Mojave. They're not cheap. I guess it goes for $5.99 on Sweetwater. But I'm going to hook this up real quick because Phantom power is already engaged, so it's real simple. I just have to unplug the Dyna and plug in this Mojave. And maybe just turn the gain up a hair, but I'm just curious. I'm going to do this. I'm getting it ready to go, and then I'll do a transmission, and then I'll quickly change to the condenser. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. And I've got the YouTube going, so you'll be able to hear it back.
I will say, Doug, it is hard to keep them under wraps. I know more so, not so much for you, for me, because my house doesn't hear that much, but I know, my kids are not always here, but I heard my daughter yesterday in the room, and when I was keying up, I can hear her coming through occasionally when I was keying up. I live in a very quiet environment, so for me, it works well, but I know you're talking about it wasn't very that age, but, I can't tell them to be quiet, you're just going to turn it up, so it does become a challenge.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I switched to this, and this, for a dynamic mic, as you know, this is a hot mic because of the preamp. So I get a little bit of that with this too. But, gating really only works appropriately in a quiet room. And what I found with the condenser is that when the gate would open, it was literally like floodgates opening, and all the sound would come in on top of my voice. But it does add a crispness. After Art does his experiment, I'm going to flip the switch on the Dynacaster, and I'm going to add the high shelf. I want to see if that makes any change. But let's stand by for Art.
All right. Okay, guys. Well, I'm still on the Dynacaster, and just checking signals here before I make this hot swap. It's going to be a hot swap, so pretty good on the signal right now, and about I'm going to do this within 6 seconds, hopefully.
10 over here.
I'm recording, so you're good. That's fine.
All right, here we go. I'll do a quick N4QNT, Kernersville, North Carolina. Experimenting with the Dynacaster, the dynamic element. And now we're going to swap right over to the condenser Mojave. Okay, now this is a little unfair, but because I didn't do any mic gain structure, any input-output with the preamp, but left the EQ identical. And the amp's still good. That's about 657 on the peaks. Norway 4, Queen, Norway Tango, Kernersville, North Carolina. That's the condenser Mojave.
Okay, so yes, you will have to do some gain structuring, but I am even though it was lighter because there wasn't as much gain, I immediately heard a crispness that wasn't there with the Dynacaster.
Yeah. So let me make sure I have. Yeah. So Art, I have to agree. It was overdriven. It was a little muffled in the rock. I just wasn't huge. But there's one artifact that I'm talking about. I was trying to pinpoint the word. There's a raspiness in the inherent in the I noticed that it's not bad. It just has a raspiness in that like a rough. Um, it seems like a rock singer would use a Doncaster type deal more than a broadcaster. It just has a raspiness in it, and I hear it in your audio. But although it's EQ'd properly and it comes across really nice. Same thing with Doug. I hear it there as well, and that's the only common element that I hear between the both of you.
Okay, well that makes sense. But Frank, did you hear that? Even though the gain wasn't correct, did you hear the change in the crispness?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely heard it was a smoothness. Obviously, there was a lot of the EQ needs to be looked at a little bit, maybe not even the EQ, but the gain structure because it was overdriving. So, but there was a smoothness overall that I heard. I'm no one still, but throughout. It didn't seem so crunchy.
So, Art, the other experiment, which you have probably done, but I have not done, is I wonder what happens if we run the Dynacaster without the phantom power. Um, I would think that would just add more noise into the signal because you'd need more gain from the preamp. But I'm wondering without phantom power how that would sound.
I'm curious now, from that last transmission now to this gain, is this like overdone? Is this what you were talking about, Frank, with the gain structure, that it wasn't enough when they first made the switch to the condenser? Or do you notice now the gain structure is close to where it could be?
So I don't know if the band changed or your drive output, your output lump has changed. It dropped dramatically. Did the band give out or no?
Yeah. So I think the band's squirrely because you're going up and down, Frank. But Art, you're like S8 now. You were 10 over. But I noticed that drop when you switched mics, and while Frank thinks you were overdriven, I thought there wasn't enough gain. So I don't know if it's the band, Frank.
No, I say so. It may not have been. Yeah, I'm going to play you back, Art. Do you copy me well or no? I got a recording of both.
Oh yeah, you just came to 20 over. Now we're going to swap right over to the condenser Mojave. Okay, now this is a little unfair, but because structure the preamp, but left the EQ identical, and the amp's still good. It's about 657 on the peak. Oh yeah. Yeah, totally overdone. As soon as I went from the dynamic mic levels, input output on the Vorsys, definitely needs to be critiqued with the phantom power, with the condenser mic. It was way overdone.
But did you hear the smoothness and how that transitioned a little bit? That raspiness. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but there's a raspiness in that microphone that was not present in the second one.
Okay, yeah. So I'm curious now that I made a couple of adjustments with the input-output on the preamp, did it take away that kind of overdriven sound that when I first came in with it? Or is it still in that same hole, it's still there?
No, it's gone. It's but now the bend you went from 20 over to drop down again to an S7 or 8. So the band's still shifting around a little bit, but yeah, I mean, from what I hear so far, it made an improvement for sure, no doubt.
Oh man, you got me wanting to rip out this Stellar X2, but I'm not going to do it yet.
Yeah, but Doug, come on. It's only $27 a month.
Well, the first test would be to plug in another condenser and see how that works. What I just did, I just flipped that right switch on the Dynacaster art, and I flipped it all the way up to give a boost to the high end. So I'm wondering if this is too much.
A little bit. Now, the great thing is, I like the clarity. I like the clarity change. I like the boost in the highs that you just did. But now, just back in the gain level a little bit in that region. Not so much the frequency, just the gain. And I think it'll be spot on. That was a great thing that you just did. Take that switch up.
All right, what frequency do you think that switch affects?
I would say about the, I know you're at 4K, so we're at the high edge here at 44, 4,500, depending on how your EQ is shelved. But I would say in that 6KC range.
All right, so then here we go. I'm going to back 1 dB off of my 4100 in the CFC. Let's see, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could also back one off of 3200.
Yeah, just one off there and one off on the other. That really took away that real edgy kind of, right on the borderline of the IS. But I think you just killed it right there. You can hear that, Frank? Or I guess you guys have a good signal on each other. I would think so. The way 40's playing right now.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely heard the change.
All right, so yeah, 40's being weird. Frank and Art, you both have the same signal strength to me, which is very weird. All right, so I backed off 4100 by 1 dB, and I backed off 3200 by 1 dB. And we've got the switch going, though, with the high shelf turned on the Dynacaster, KB2UKA.
Nice. Yeah, I'm hearing a little more brightness and clarity. I mean, it's not overdone. It's not the hot sizzle stuff going on. And yeah, that's interesting adjustment there. But I'm kind of detecting it here now. Just with the condenser, going over to this mic, I'm seeing a lot more energy and crispiness out there, lifting up in that 4.1, 4.2 range on the edge of the EQ in here. So. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. After listening to the break, I'm sorry, Doug, but man, I think I'm getting back on this condenser kick.
Oh well, I'm all for it. Anything to try over again. That sounds great. That sounds great. That'll be about an hour and a half of gain adjustment, and it'll take up my life. That's perfect.
All right, so get these boxes on Sweetwater on the used gear side of it. Clean out some of that those cabinets, and I see them limited in the future.
Well, yeah, the Innovonics will be hard to sell, but I'll list it. And then what else do I have in here? I've got a Behringer Multicom Pro. I've got an old EQ. So there's a bunch of stuff. KB2UKA at the 40. I'm going to be on the side for 2 seconds to talk to my beautiful daughter. I'll be right back.
Okay. So I got just a heads up, I got the TM112. This is a 2 box. And I think it sounds almost as good as the 103. It's a hell of a lot cheaper.
Oh my goodness! Oh, you're on the 102. Okay, is that the one with the black base? I think it has the black base.
They have the black. I got the leftover, so I bought the 102. There was that
All right, I'm back. KB2UKA.
$1 a month for Sweetwater. There's the golden key.
Yeah, the 102 is a much cheaper option. And, the 103 is nice. I just, when I got the 102 mark out, I think it does a good job for the size of the locals, and I'll tell you that.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, I know. I could finance it on Sweetwater. It'll be here on Wednesday.
The 4, and then of course even out to 10. The guys doing the 3630. Perfect size element for the use. We're financing here.
Hey, can you guys do me a favor? Can you guys list out a 5K scale? I'm kind of curious to hear what this sounds like.
Yeah, you're getting late on me, Frank, but I could still hear you. Go ahead.
This is going way to Green Box. For that box, let's see, out at 5. Everything looks good, sounds good in the headphones. Just curious to hear what you hear in Norway 2, Green Box.
Was that your 4K profile just put out to 5?
Yeah, that's the 4K out to 5.
So, yeah, it needs a little tweaking. It needs, I think, some boosts in that 5K range, like 4,500 to 5. And, but again, you're an S7, S8 now. You're not 10 over.
Yeah, I see. I'm EQ'd all the way out there, so I'm curious. Maybe the bottom edge is too much, or maybe I need to raise the gain. But I don't know. It looks balanced on the fan adapter. I'm not disagreeing with you. But Art, what do you see? Same thing? I think we lost that.
Hey, Art, you still there? Frank, it might be balanced, but because you're an S7, I'm not getting any I'm not getting too much pop on the pan adapter between like 4 and 5, but it might be the signal.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. I'm back to 4, by the way. Yeah, that could be. I don't know. Art was just there a moment ago, so maybe something he had to reset these or something. I'm so excited, Doug. The radio is stateside.
It shipped, right?
Yeah, it shipped. It's landed in Cincinnati, so it should be here by Tuesday. I think I heard Art back in there.
No, it was just I wanted to send out that 5K reference.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Did you see energy, Art, in the 5K range? Because he's light here.
Yeah, it was perfect timing, 15, almost 20, and my goodness, I mean, just the presence out there, that little bit of brightness and clarity because of the extra KC, it just shows everything so nicely how it's blended, and of course that robust tone at the bass region. Wow, I mean, I think we need to start a 5KC now. Chickens only, starting at 5KCs.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, gentlemen. I've been on the radio since 6:30 this morning. My wife got up very, very early, and she's taking a nap. And my kids have been all alone, so I think I'm going to get out of here. I'm glad I'm back to sounding like ESSB audio. I thank you both very, very much.
Hey, by the way, Robitussin works great, or is it, is it Robitussin that knocks them out?
Oh, no, well, they slept fine. It's my wife. She got up at 1:45 a.m., and she's been up since, but she's sleeping now. She's been sleeping about 45 minutes, so I want to go entertain the children so they don't wake her up.
No, that's what my reference was. Let them go back to sleep now. My sister used to give them something to go to sleep because they wouldn't go to sleep sometimes. I forgot what it was. It's not NyQuil. No, not NyQuil. One of these things. I don't know what it was. And it wouldn't go to sleep. It's go to bed. And we were ripping on her for doing that. But She was like, she was on like a 1 week work program. She couldn't get some sleep, and the kids would keep her up, so she gave them something, and everyone passed out. Oh man, funny stuff. All right, Norway Duke, Queen Fox. Doug, great hearing you, buddy. Enjoy the day. 73.
Hey, real quick, Frank, you're back to 5/9. Go 5K again. I want to hear it.
All right, Norway 2. Oh wait, I gotta actually just hit the button. November 2, Queen Fox. Testing 5K profile. Just check to see how this sounds from Norway to Quebec Fox on 5K.
Oh yeah, the energy's there. It was definitely the signal strength. Let's see. Timestamp. Where the heck is this thing? OBS updated. There's a timestamp. Go to like 35 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm going to shut the stream down in a second anyway, so you'll be right at the end, but it sounded great.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, shut that off, will you? All right, hold on then. I want to get into that stream real quick before you hit it, just experimenting with the 5K. The other thing I noticed, I got to stay back from this microphone. You're close talking to dynamic. I know the condenser might maybe 12 or so, maybe 14 inches, but anyway, N4QNT for the quick experiment 5K. How to buzz the OBS streaming service. All right, I appreciate it. N4QNT. Yeah, we wouldn't want anybody to miss that 5K pocket. I mean, that would be really, really damn upsetting if anybody missed that.
Oh, Rick always comes in when I'm leaving. Art, it sounded good, except I have you about an S7, so that's the only issue. Good morning, Rick.
Yeah, morning, Doug. Morning, Art. Morning, Frank. And SDR.
Yeah, good morning, Happy Smurf.
Who's that, Paul?
The Doug 73, man. Enjoy, and have fun with the kids. Maybe we'll catch you later.
All right, guys, take care. I'm out. KB2UKA clear.